In one of his first interviews about officer suicides, NYPD Commissioner James O'Neill is opening up about the epidemic in his department. 9 officers have taken their lives this year, 7 since June. The commissioner sat down with CBS 2's Jessica Moore to explain what's being done to help officers and how the department still needs to improve.
It is a mental health crisis in the NYPD.
NYPD Commissioner James O'Neill says he knows his department is dealing with a suicide epidemic.
We've had 9 suicides so far this year. Prior to that, we averaged 4 to 5 a year for the last 5 years.
A recent Department of Investigations report showed 44 of 174 retired NYPD officers said they considered getting help, but only 2/3 followed through. Families tell me there's fear among the rank and file.
If they show weakness in their mind, vulnerability, that they're going to be branded, that they're going to be thought of as less than. How do you combat that? How do you work around that?
It's difficult for people to come forward, especially if you're in crisis. I think that's almost impossible. The biggest issue is getting over that hurdle of stigma.
A retired NYPD sergeant who wanted to remain anonymous told me the only way to eliminate the stigma of asking for help is to require every member of rank and file to participate in regular mental health checks.
Is that something that you would consider?
Yeah, I would. That's a great suggestion. And we're not, obviously we don't have all the answers within the department.
But O'Neill says the department is taking major steps to enhance its mental health services, recently launching an upgraded peer-to-peer support system, which will place 1 to 3 peer counselors in each command, providing anonymous help 24/7.
Does the NYPD have a credibility problem when it comes to managing officers' mental health?
I don't think it's a credibility problem. I think it's the biggest thing that we're dealing with is that stigma of coming forward. I think people, by and large, know what services are available. It's just getting people to use those services, and that's something we need to do better. We need to do much better at.
And how do you do that?
I think it's with the command level training, the executive level training. I think having peers that people trust in all the commands, I think that helps. I think just having human relationships at the precinct level.
Does your department need more support from city leaders?
I don't know, Jessica. I don't know if it's just from city leaders. I think it's from the city as a whole. People need to respect the cops. They need to respect the men and women of the NYPD. They need to respect people in law enforcement.
What would your personal message be to an officer who watches this story and thinks, he's talking about me, I'm struggling?
Take that step. Come forward. Confide in your partner, confide in a friend, confide in your family, and get help.
Until recently, if an officer was considered a threat to himself or others, both gun and badge were taken away until he or she was cleared. But the commissioner tells me the department recently changed that policy to allow the officer to keep his badge while undergoing counseling before returning to active duty, an important part of their identity, which he says he hopes will assure the officer that the department is rooting for their full recovery. Dana?
That's an important thing to do.
Absolutely.
That is an important thing to do. Thank you, Jessica. And calling out, the commissioner spoke about that. Here are the numbers. There are ways NYPD officers can reach for help. You can call 646-610-6730 or text BLUE to the crisis line 741-741. We've posted this information and other resources on our website, cbsnewyork.com.